been a long, long time. But what possibly can be better on the fateful night of Halloween itself than watching something light and airy? Which is why I'm subjecting myself to more Made in Abyss, something that I've not really ever been able to get out of my head since watching the series. It is something that is incredibly vivid. All I really know is that going down means probable death, going up means almost certain death, going up very quickly means a whole lot of molten child. And if that hits home a bit too close, then you may need to take a break or two before getting into it. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. So welcome back to Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul. I was going to say that there's probably quite a lot that I've forgotten about Made in Abyss, but at the same time, I don't believe that's true. Nanachi. So, how much time has passed since? Well, you all know. Mitty. One thing I really did like is all of the, well, apart from the amazing backgrounds and landscapes, but the environment, the fauna and flora. We've got to respect our team leader's opinion. That was significant in some way in the series, but I can't remember how. A nice open field. But I remember the pic. How are these flowers got no natural predators? Doesn't really quite apply to plants, but slightly better than just squinting to see better. Anything strange? We are in the abyss, remember? So, she remembers something, or at least knows them. Ah, Bondrewd! Oh, yeah, I remember that name. Cool! What do you think was going on? Are you trying to put it through like this? You're on the side of justice or something? Here, have this. Yeah, don't give away any extra information, and like Bondrewd would actually not have any surveillance. There was a backpack and there was a little bit of staining on it, but what is it that he wants to keep from waking? And is everyone under Bondrewd's command dodgy? Don't get too close. The bug from your notes. And you are kneeling down in front of them. Purple. Ugh. So they make their nests in such lovely flowers to draw people in and then eat from the inside out. I'm glad I'm not wearing my glasses for this one. Great. A reflexive utterance. There are insects and creatures like that out in reality, and it is kind of, well, disgusting, but also nature is impressive in what it can, every niche that can be filled. How many other? Yep, I suppose this is one way. Do you really think that there's much that can be done at this point? Or if even if you could, do you think they want to be saved? The fact that either this guy is part mechanical or has seen a lot of shit, which is to be expected for people who have to come into the abyss. The bugs themselves just splatter on his arm as he runs through. Quick, plug everything. Make sure none of them are in your backpack or anything. Fire would be a good way of getting rid of the nest and everything. Hopefully. Even the sometimes beautiful scenes hold some deadly threats, and like we've just been shown. And nothing. Why is that burning at a higher degree? Nothing has been more evident than that in Maiden Abyss. They have some talented artists coming up with all of the environment and scenery and making it look absolutely gorgeous. But remember, almost every section is out to kill you. How far down? Are we going to get in this story? Slash, is there a bottom to it? There seems to be like some either a city that was pulled down with the abyss when it first emerged, or there's its own place built down there. I don't like that name. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think it would be that easy. How can you tell? It's so fluffy. Yeah. Understandable. How lucky. You just saw it collapse, so be careful. Good thing she has a safety line. Don't say that. One of the best traits to have in a place like this would be the ability of flight, or some way to protect yourself should you fall. No thanks, I'm not hungry. Well, on second thought, maybe I'll tuck in. How, yeah, how much experimentation did it take for people to realize all of this? Yeah, don't make it sound like I'm eating something disgusting. It only makes it harder. Sweet yet gooey. Are we going to experience any more cuisine delicacies in this? Well, they've got nothing better to do while here, so... And should she ever be found alone again, knowing these things would probably help. I don't know if I'd stay that close to the water's edge, though, even if he did venture in earlier. You can treat us to some good food. Really? That's all it took? Don't knock all the cutlery into the water. Gosh, gonna get all the fur matted and damp. Yeah, almost anything can happen. We've seen there's a lot of... Well, whatever's going on. So, reincarnation and the like isn't exactly the worst concept to at least think of. There's probably many more options out there. Although her restless optimism might be a bit draining after kilometers of travel. How long did it take to set up a base like that down here? Yeah, she holds very fond memories. So what? Have you only got a few seconds to make entry before you've missed your chance? Uh, okay. Trying to get something out of that one. If there is a confrontation with Bondrewd, will he remember who Nanachi is? Nice shoes. Does she know of experiments? You're giving away information again. I think there should be at least like some handrail or something. Yes, your hat is so amazing. He's so good at making friends. I'm guessing there isn't many that she's allowed to talk to. Um, have they come across anyone so friendly so far? That is a helmet, though. Thanks for the reverb on the footsteps. I definitely needed it. Yeah, he remembers. Don't at least have a better name for it. Congratulations, you found a way how to, I guess, free Mitty. Well done, yes. Don't do anything stupid. So there's. Huh. So she can't use the whistle. What a great way to add a reason for this quest right here. Now you've got to find a way through the altar. We are getting a very different side than what we've been shown, really, of this one so far. I can only imagine that the good-willed Papa version of Bondrewd is going to be eroded away relatively quickly. How emotive. Thanks for the warning. Maybe you should have some more signs around, just letting people remember. It's more of a vault than a room. Is it more of those tasteless bars? What they're made of? Do you eat wool that often to know the taste? Yeah, actually, yes. Who would then be, like, Prushka's mother? Maybe to find a way to get her down there? Well, I don't know. Remember, information is power, and yet, yeah, you're not stopping her from talking. At least now they have an actual, somewhat safer than just being out in the flower field kind of place to rest. At least, you want to keep it on. Are we going to get more explanation for this now that it's being brought up again? Hmm. Okay. Fair enough. But his, yeah, wrist-mounted cannon. Is there a way of regenerating the power though, like those energy bars? At least I've got a sink. I'm not sure I would want to be strolling around by myself in this place, especially after everything that Nachi has gone through. Willing to answer any questions? Possibly. Not why she's here, but yeah. I suppose, he didn't want all the experiments to fail, and. Oh, Reg's gone. Yes. Oh no, they fell in! Someone get a rope. I don't want to know what's at the bottom of that pit, actually, thinking about it. A big, imposing vault. You'll get the abyss version of the bends if you go up there. What if you just go very slowly? Scoundrel. It's such a pleasant word when compared to what we've been shown him doing. Hasn't hit you yet, but yeah, sure. There are people who have more resilient to the effects, but blood, a tooth. Okay, is this just a more of the yeah, hallucinations? To think it would hit all at once like that. Do you remember how to squat? Hmm. Just lose all your faculties of directions, your senses, and everything. And it's got to be terrifying. So the face was real, but everything else. Oh no, the hand was. Handrails. Told you. So all of the injuries you receive is because of your own. Well, it's because of you. So there's nothing true mysterious other than the hallucinations and whatnot. What age? Don't answer. It is lucky for her to just be strolling around and find Rika there in this bottom of the stairs. Do you have? Okay, that's a person, isn't it? Is it like what we were shown with the how the abyss works with its layers of curse? Follow. That's going to get you in trouble. How many of those lights are out? How are they actually connected to the people? That's right. Smell the bird thing. Take a big ol' whiff. Although that is an incredibly useful power when battling the uphill struggles. Could you outline the goals of this research? There's something that she can't give up on just yet, though, so. Is it to make sure that everything goes smoothly for those two? Oops. In several parts. Those things are constantly taking pictures or something, isn't it? Aren't they? Why do you need that bottom one? Do you need to check it in that much detail? Okay, I guess that makes sense now. Yep, to have pain receptors as a robot is kind of it's understandable though. You don't want to hurt yourself by overdoing it, excessive force, etc. Well, you know why. Well, it distracted them enough. The yell of the bird. Did you get the arm back? They didn't even separate it at the joint. Just a bit up to make it more. Is the image you have of your precious father not quite what you built up in your mind? No, thank you. Good, he still has the grappling hook. Now find a way to fill it with cement. Understandable. It's going to be needed. Unless you can find a replacement. There are still relics just around. Yeah, I'm not giving her any chances if she stays. You gonna want to be friends? Yeah, I'm getting ready for the heartbreak already. With them waving to the chair. Hmm. Outside? I. There is obviously something else still going on in the background, like another plan he has, but. This isn't the first time he's been injured, but. That's not a good sign. It's like signs of a stroke or something, isn't it? What was in your notes? Yeah, being able to follow footprints like that is going to be easy. Sulk. Without further experimentation? How many uses was that? Did that have left? Don't worry, they're planning on it. Did they already dig out the floor? Or big bug? Ew. Did she not suffer from any ill effects from getting on top of the structure? I don't believe that Bondrewd is going to go down so easily, though. Either, yeah, phantom pain. I know of that. people who have amputated limbs, etc. Or he can actually feel his fingers and there's something going on. Yeah, you can't have the second act ending with him dying here. Did he have Reg's arm, or has he constructed his own thanks to the... Oh. He had his own version. Well, he wouldn't be down here for long if he didn't have some way of protecting himself. Pull down your ears as well. Why is she out here? Like, why is she meant to be watching this? Yeah, clever. I was about to say, your plan can't be just surely go in and fight him. Ow. There has to be something in that dart. Ew. How quickly do they run through a system, though? Cartridges? I guess if any experimentation was going to be held, it would be find a way to stave off that curse of ascending. Be one of the first things once it's found out. He's not fighting back. Good thing his arm can go through the water like that. Yeah, like for like. You definitely wouldn't want to be confined to that helmet. So, Prusha, your new friends just killed your father. Well, they obviously haven't, but... Does he have a, already, like, an antidote to this? Is this part of his plan as well, letting her see this? Because is this all part of his expectations of what's going on? Because that guy didn't step in at all. That was a nice visual. Thanks for that. Let me guess, he swapped himself out for someone else. Huh. Huh. He can molt? And what's that, a tail? So, is that helmet his consciousness kind of thing? Hmm. So yes, it was all part of his expectations. This was another just experiment to him. Yeah, the same thing isn't going to work twice. Your viscera merely churn a bit. Don't worry. Every member is him. I guess that's how you write a big bad. Okay. It's all about love. So what is the Abyss wanting in for all of this? What? Any particular reason you put her to sleep for this conversation? Oh, fuck. To combat the problems with coming up from the abyss, all you need is love. The kind of unadulterated love a child might have for their parents. Remove all the parts. Can you at least give us some anesthetic? There's a lot of X's. Okay. I don't. I don't like where this is heading. it's good that we're getting a recap of why she's wanting to be down here and all the mysteries that have come up. Yeah, that's definitely part of the abyss. This, yeah. Don't draw it. Or touches Nanachi, huh? Wait, what? Don't make that big scream. Sometimes you don't need an overall goal. You know, what is it? The journey is the adventure. All of this is really just stealing me up for the big reveal. Did Bondrewd know about the little creature's way of seeing through the layers? That is one strong image. What can you do in this situation? Also, you haven't got his arm back yet, so we only got a quick glimpse of it. I didn't think it would give us a straight view of it. Goes insane, you say? Shaped kind of like a butt. You think after all of this experimentation, he hasn't found a way of condensing old relics into something new? Oh. It's got you fired up, didn't it? Reg, don't look! Keep your pants on. I guess the best I can hope for is that this experimentation makes Nanachi not the only success of this So, what is your plan to zap him again? Not a promise you can make, and I hope you didn't bring that up. A whirlpool. What? So it's hydroelectric? You have to worry about everything else. That's a good distraction, actually. In a place with not much light. Well, actually, at the same point, they might be adapted to low light environments, or no light environments, so they wouldn't actually have any photoreceptors. Quite a few, I'd imagine, and then probably a lot more in reserve just in case. I half expected that pipe to bleed. That is a good question. If you can find a answer to that, that would solve some of your issues. Can we check the symbol? Put the helmet back on. Would it cause you to lose your voice box like that? It's a, it's like those guys in the flower field, but where instead of who or how or whatever it was. Yes, yeah. I was about to say that was very optimistic. Oh, which means if it's here, don't run off ahead. You may not like what you come across. She recognizes the hallway. Ornate doors. Very nice. Personally, I'm not sure on its design, but sure. Interior decorating isn't their thing. It's science. This is the cartridges. At least I was hoping that the pumped with drugs and whatnot, so they don't feel anything or whatnot. Hopefully, they weren't full. Otherwise, you've just. There's a lot there. He's up. Yeah, he's at the door. What's with the backpack? Going to? Oops. How do you make those? Each whistle is a person? Person? I suppose you don't really want to mass produce them then. Okay. So someone actually has to what? If he can swap his conscious now all the time, yeah, there's no reason not to, I guess. Just because she can understand your insanity doesn't mean that she agrees with it. Okay. Get down. That was a short wave burst. If you really want to hurt Bondrewd, destroy the white whistle that he has. Imagine if he could capture that kind of power when he's still conscious of it, of his actions and everything. And if he had both arms. Follow the menu. If he can convert any sort of energy into power himself, that would be useful. He could deflect laser beams? At this point, I think there's going to be going to need to be a lot more damage than that to stop him. Quite the bite force. Yep, that's normal. As interesting it would be to watch this fight, I don't think I'd be staying in the room. That just shows how actually good of a cave raider that Bondrewd is. Although, yeah, I'm not. I'm not in love with the fact that, well, feral reg. Don't. Is he experimenting on him here, or no? Okay. That is a big boom. Trying to maybe not completely stop the big boom, at least redirect it into something that's less gonna kill everyone. You're at the center of this. You're at the center of that blast, or at least the origin of that blast, and minim is all that happened. One way to remove a base. That's going to take a little bit to explain. And remember not to show Nanachi whatever it was. A whole bunch of someones. Multiple personalities. Very nice. Is that the consciousness of every... Can't remember what they called them, but before people. Oh no. He does have clothes on, remember? Well, hopefully. Yep. He didn't have a choice in that. Do you really think he'd go down that easily? After you, then. Did he really have a choice? At least he's got the communicator. It's a start. Did they land on the toilet? What was the plan there? Isn't it obvious? Hmm. Well, then things just keep getting. That's one way to describe it. But this fight's not going to be over until he gets his arm back. What would you call that kind of attack? There wouldn't be much force behind his arm wire. Unless it's serrated in some way. At least with his mindlessness, he's had a small power up in his being able to control himself. So that's why he has to constantly replace his body with others. Yeah, scattershot might be the best way of trying to capture him. How many shots left does he have? And I didn't expect I'd be watching shitty Spider-Man. So it's what, distracting him until that's done? If you can damage his backpack or something. Oh, that's what. Yeah, you want to get out of there. Is that how you climb? I guess it was taking too long. There's so much going on. All of the water, ice, pits, explosions, transformations. For him to keep his bearings and actually just latch onto the right walls is impressive in of itself. Another one. Another 3. The last one. I mean, yeah, that wasn't exactly something we didn't know. Are you trying to get it back in the pot, or are you licking it? Well, not really, because he has no attachment to bodies or whatever. You've got renewed reason to take him down further. Have a flashback just to help grind things down further. Yeah, great. Show them that. Is this just still you found a... Oh, look. This seems like something that could be used to further the research. But at least, for a short time, he brought her back from that brink. It's not... I guess, yeah, there are many, well, children and adults that have... Don't eat it. That have, like, therapy pets and whatnot, so... One way to look at it... You can't really see it, but... Several, parts of my extremities have gone into some sort of spasm at what I'm seeing. And unless we actually see some like great trying to climb. Some great resolution of Bondrewd being an amazing scientist and managing to fix everything. Oh, that's his maiden abyss. Good question. Great. I wonder if in some way that they're actually going to be able to keep hold of that promise of, wish, I guess, of sharing adventures. That seems dangerous. An industrial bath. Great. She knows surgery? I guess being taught a whole bunch of stuff. I very much doubt that after this movie that Bondrewd isn't going to be still out there. It's going to be slightly difficult to see now. They got to point the box in the right direction. Even if they wanted to, I don't think they can really turn back and show you at this point, even if everything went well. Do you have to buy? Yeah. Do you have to pass them all in front of her? All I can see now is that because of her undying wish to go on an adventure, she's somehow going to be part of a new whistle for Rico to get through that issue. I doubt any other way they can resolve that one. Still going for the belly button. Why? Why? What? Yeah. What was the reason that everything is such an imitation? His foot? Ah. Yeah, I didn't think he'd stand there and take it. That. Don't show Nanachi that she's got the arm, otherwise Bondrewd would find out. That's not the end of it, though, is it? Ah, he's healed! The amount of mental anguish that I don't think has really escaped anyone. Yeah, I'd like to know, is there like a button you press or something? Or can Reg use it through Bluetooth? It's not a great idea to monologue. Not quite in the normal way that people process joy and elation. He does have a connection with all of his experiments and whatnot, especially those that go right, but what a complex and disgusting character. Baka. Take his whistle. Enjoy your rest. Patched him up. Just a flesh wound. You're not going to double tap. It's a bit soon for him to be up and walking, but yep. It's already popped. Don't. Yeah, that's not going to cause nightmares. Spilling out. Hmm. How did that fit through the hole? Ah, a short distraction. Nice. To think that it can have that much of a resonance with what few days of knowing each other. Hmm. Great. Just, just what everyone really needed. Just pack on the distress further and further. I mean, yeah, everyone else carries their whistles and whatnot on a string, so not the prettiest of things. The only thing that makes this worse is if Reg joined in. Powered up a little bit. So that's how much energy all of those shots take. He took out the entire base worth of electric, and Bondrewd, welcome back. And it's still only enough for 10 shots. Slightly better than the worm eye that we saw earlier. Can respect our team leader's decision. You, uh, you got Menya along as well, so cool. I thought, well, it's nice to have a reoccurrence. Respecting the team leader's decision was something that's right at the beginning, so now it wraps around. There's not much to return to. Although, Reg's probably going to have to turn off all of those lights at some point. Pull her through. Good! This wouldn't be Made in Abyss without Nanashi. At this point, at least. Kind of like their de facto saviour. We didn't get much in the way of understanding the abyss, but or the precursors. Christ. Well then. Yeah, I'm gonna need, not therapy, but... yeah, therapy. But even after all of that, there's still got to pass through all of that water. So what if there's something down there that intercepts this capsule? Is it just part of the song, or are we actually meant to take note of those words? But the... sort of skeletons, fish skeletons at least. The realization that all of the white whistles are born from people, that adds a whole nother level of what the hell and how did they figure that out? There are so many mysteries, and I'm not sure I'm ready to delve into them. We've had loss before in this show. Strangely enough, a lot of the real look how terrible it all is has a connection to Bondrewd. One thing I can give him, though, he remembered all of the names. You gotta latch onto some optimism somewhere. I would like to say that some of the backgrounds in this were absolutely beautiful, like with the series, but a lot of it happened within laboratory walls. So... But if you did remove all of those pesky, unnecessary parts like bones, arms, most of your sensory organs, how much could you compact a person down to? I'm done. Wow. I think that's the only thing that can be said at this moment. Well, if you wanted something heavy, yeah, this is it. Child experimentation is one thing. The only thing I know pretty much for sure is that it's definitely not the end that we've seen of suffering. There's going to be a lot more trials of endurance to be seen in Maiden Abyss. And I know that because, well, there are people on my Discord who read the manga, and Just from that fact, I know there's probably quite a lot ahead. And I wasn't actually paying attention, but they've got Rag's arm back, but did they reattach it? I was more focusing on his stomach than looking to see if they'd done any more. But the fact that the white whistles are the embodiment of someone, that means that the journey has not been a three-person party, has it? So who has she been travelling with? All I can really think is like someone that's really, really attached to her mother, so like a really, really good family friend. Maybe even her own father. Can't remember at what point she became a white whistle. But if you haven't calmed yourself down and are just here trying to extend the time so that you can weep and not be alone, I understand that. Hopefully you enjoyed Made in Abyss. Here's the thing. This movie didn't really explain anything to anyone who doesn't know the series. So I hope this isn't someone's like first foray into Made in Abyss, because that's going to be confusing. If you've managed to make it through the entire thing without even so much as shedding a solitary tear, let me know down in the comments, because I'd probably see a liar. There's lots more to come in the future. If you want to make sure never to miss it, subscribe to the channel. At least after that, I think I deserve it. Really. Take care of yourself and get some rest. I really hope we can all continue this adventure together. See you in the next one. If you yourself want to go on an adventure but don't necessarily want to leave the confines of your room, well, you can always help out by going onto Patreon and supporting the channel. It'll be our own little adventure together. One where I'm left traumatized and you get to sit in satisfaction that you caused it. Anyway, Sal, Raywin, HSTR, Dynamite 1997, Aisha M, Shiwan, ASD, Stinsfire, and everyone else. I am happy that you're all here with me. Let's keep it that way.